Records showed the two had a 6-year-old daughter named Madyson, and objects in the vehicle, including a life-sized Barbie doll, indicated the presence of a child. Clues. The scene suggested the family had meant to return to their truck, but for whatever reason, didn't. The most immediate logical explanation available was that they had stopped to travel by foot and gotten lost. Using the family's cell phones and GPS device, deputies reconstructed their last logged movements. The data drew Beecham and Company about 100 to 200 yards north, through trees and vegetation so thick they couldn't see more than a few feet ahead. As deputies called out to the Jamisons, their visibility was limited to awkward glimpses of colleagues crashing through the wet foliage and fumbling with their flashlights. The small troop reached a hill and began to ascend it. Halfway up, they saw footprints. Small ones, the unmistakable impressions of a child's shoes, that tapered off quickly, dead-ending at the rocky plateau at the top of the bluff. Later, in the early morning hours, deputies found an image on one of the family's cell phones. It showed a young girl, presumably Bobby and Sherilynn's daughter Madyson, standing alone. The scenery around her, boulders, trees, maroon and green leaves, and pine needles, resembled the bluff at the top of the hill where they spotted the footprints. In the picture, the little girl's bleached blonde hair flowed down over her shoulders. She wore a light-colored t-shirt and blue jean trousers. Her eyes peered into the distance, mouth open, exposing her missing front baby teeth. Her arms were crossed in a kind of anxious self-hug, with her right hand grasping her left elbow and her left hand holding her right bicep. She was either standing or mid-step in what appeared to be a candid picture. Unposed, unplanned, and unnerving. As the first inkling of dawn touched the overcast mountain, Beecham stood alone, assessing the truck from a new angle on the clearing. Something was off. A shadowy figure silhouetted against the sky approached him from the direction of the truck, where the deputy's activity had intensified. "Sheriff, I think you need to see this." "What is it?" Beecham followed him back over to the truck. "We found something underneath the floor compartment. There is a substantial amount of money in this vehicle, sir." As he parted the silent gathering of deputies, a shrill, cold wind picked up around them like the atonal swell from an orchestra pit. It stopped as suddenly as it started, and a stillness descended. Beecham's eyes lowered to the surface of the back seat, where stacks of cash spilled out of a bank bag.